kita sekarang mempunyai lebih 53% under forest reserve, and kita punya forest is well protected, dan kita punya conservation is, if not the best, one of the best in the world.
Having sound conservation policies and plans is one thing, but the resolve and seriousness to implement programs in accordance to such plans, effectively on the ground, is quite another matter. Fortunately, for this Malaysian state of Sabah on Borneo Island, things are moving, and moving in the right direction. The government is fully aware of the massive task at hand, for much of the forests are degraded due to poor logging practices or devastated by fires in the past. Restoration and rehabilitation operations are massive and costly, yet they are a must for the sake of a brighter future for Sabah, for her people in generations to come, and for the love of Mother Earth.
Forest rehabilitation is one of the main agendas for Sabah, as part of efforts to ensure sustainability of forest resources and increase its capacity for carbon sequestration, as carbon emission is one of the main causes of global climate changes. Planting more trees will help in absorbing this greenhouse gas.
Malaysia made a commitment at the 15th Conference of Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change at Copenhagen in December 2009. The commitment was to reduce its carbon intensity by up to 40% by the year 2020, as compared to the 2005 levels, and to plant 26 million trees throughout the nation. The state of Sabah is actively involved in this nationwide campaign initiated by the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment in April 2010, in commemorating Earth Day. Since then, a total of 2,626 trees have been planted throughout Sabah. In October 2010, the government also welcomed and supported a corporate body in Malaysia, the Standard Chartered Bank, in the planting of 1,000 trees at the Kebun Cina Forest Reserve, located near the city of Sandakan. This was carried out as part of the bank's Green Fingers Eco Project to combat climate change and environmental degradation. Participated by students from 4 secondary schools in the district, the junior rangers from the Sabah Forestry Department, students from the Institute for Industrial Training, as well as the Girl Guides.
Thank you very much, Yang Amat Terhormat Datuk Seri.
The Sabah state government has for the past 2 decades taken firm actions on the ground to address issues related to climate change and in promoting carbon sequestration. This took the form of a joint venture project between the FACE Foundation of the Netherlands with Innoprise Corporation Sendirian Berhad, the investment arm of the Sabah Foundation or Yayasan Sabah. This project is known as the Face the Future or Infapro project.
The main objective of this Infapro project is to offset carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. And once the project is being certified, then of course FACE foundations can sell carbon. And our area is basically it's about 25,000 hectares. It's look like this. And then we've started in 1990. And so far we are already in contract 6. And we already rehabilitate about 11,000 hectares. Means almost halfway.
The various activities of the Infapro program are designed to restore logged forests with the aim of boosting carbon dioxide capture during the forest regeneration process.
But the main reason that we are doing this project is actually because of the carbon. Carbon dioxide is a problem because there's too much of it in the atmosphere, causing climate change. And forests play a very important role in this. They take up carbon, sequester the carbon, and store it in the biomass. Now, if you rehabilitate forest, it means that you enable the conditions for the forest to grow and to sequester carbon dioxide from the atmosphere.
Working in close collaboration with its foreign partner on this venture, The management and staff of Yayasan Sabah take great pains to ensure that this artist's task of forest rehabilitation is conducted properly and precisely at ground level. Firstly, there's the production of seedlings, the careful selection and preparation of indigenous tree species for field planting. Then there is the survey of compartments with compassing, marking with sticks and color ribbons, the placing of sticks on actual locations where seedlings could be planted and where it should be avoided.
We cut those climbers in order to release the potential crop trees, especially those from dipterocarps, non-dipterocarps with commercial value. We have to indicate in every point, every planting point, with stick without ribbons, telling you that point is plantable. After planting, we have to put a 2-stick or double stick from the back, from in front, to protect the planted seedling from being cut by the maintenance crew.
Among the fruits of the Infapro program is that within a few years, the young trees planted begin to form a rudimentary canopy that shades out the weeds beneath and provides a favorable habitat for other plants and animals.
The Yayasan Sabah group provides for people to do the actual project implementation. Each time when I visit the project, I'm really impressed by their motivation, their attitude toward forest rehabilitation. We are really very happy with the cooperation that we have with the Yayasan Sabah group, especially with the people who are they're doing all this manual labor, because each seedling is, we don't use machines, so it's all planted manually, and tree by tree by tree, and then for many hectares they are doing this, and with their work they're contributing to actually mitigating climate change, and that's a very good thing.
In 2008, the Sabah state government endorsed a memorandum of understanding with the New Forests Private Limited that paved the way for the development of a wildlife habitat conservation bank in the Malawa Forest Reserve, known as the Malawa Biobank. This partnership is reflective of the state government's success in finding new and innovative approaches to the conservation of Borneo's rainforests in Sabah. A specialized fund shall invest $10 million to rehabilitate the Malawa Forest Reserve and receive the right to create and market biodiversity conservation certificates to third parties around the world. In Sabah, the number of conservation areas, forest reserves and protected areas has remained stable for the last 25 years in terms of total size, and these areas cover all categories of natural habitats. In recent years, new forest reserves have been established. In 1981, the Sabah Foundation Group agreed to designate the Danum Valley and the Malayaw Basin as conservation areas. The group did the same for the 25-kilometer-long Imbak Canyon, a sweeping swath of unspoiled forest, in the year 2003. The Malayaw Basin is one of the greatest wilderness areas on Earth. The government has nominated it to be a Natural World Heritage Site. Whether from the air or on the ground, the view of this pristine natural treasure house is indeed most spectacular. The Danum Valley Conservation Area, on the other hand, has over 43,800 hectares of primary dipterocarp forest. On the edge of this area is the Danum Valley Field Center, a world-renowned scientific facility set up in 1986 for the purposes of research, education, and wilderness recreation.
The Royal Society Southeast Asia Rainforest Research Programme has been at Danum Valley Field Centre since it was created in 1985, when we were invited by Yayasan Sabah. Our prime purpose at that time, the early days, was to provide advice on how to log and later to restore forest so as to reduce ecological and erosional impacts, and to promote as good forest regrowth for timber and for conservation as possible. Later phases of the programme, so after the first 5 or 10 years, well, then the focus moved to how to restore forests, and then on to the impacts of global warming and climatic change. Current and future kind of programme, well, then our emphasis is changing again, so as to contribute the science that will lie behind the various measures which the Sabah Forest Department and Sabah government are adopting in response to the REDD and REDD Plus initiatives of the Copenhagen process. We're providing science which is not just useful in Sabah, but it's very important in Sabah, but is going to be very useful across the global tropics.
The Danum Valley Conservation Area is truly in the very top league of research stations in the humid tropics. Among the many global organizations that have contributed immensely towards research on conservation and sustainable management of rainforests and biodiversity in Sabah is the Royal Society, the Academy of Science of the United Kingdom. The Royal Society has completed 25 years of collaborative program with key local partners in the States such as the Sabah Foundation, the Sabah Forestry Department, and the Danum Valley and the Malayaw Basin Management Committees.
The work being done at Danum is respected throughout the world. This meeting had about 800 scientists interested in working in tropical biology, and you know, they all said just what a wonderful example the work at Danum is. And of course it's really working for the future too, you know. Can we replant forests? Forests are important. Can we replant them? Is there a way that we can get back the biodiversity and the ecosystem services that the forest provides?
Professor Lorna Castleton was in Sabah in July 2010 to formally enter into an agreement with the Danum Valley Management Committee to continue with its research and training program at the Danum Research Center for another 5 years. Among other international bodies is LEAP, initials that stand for Land, Empowerment, Animals and People. It is an agency that seeks to discover new ways to have an ecological coexistence with communities, government, civil society, and industry.
In LEAP, what we do is we build partnerships and collaborations, and the idea is to balance the needs of all. What we do is we work within the divides, we work within the gaps, and we bridge between groups that are traditionally fragmented or isolated from each other. The main purpose of doing that and the main intention of doing that is to facilitate new conversations to happen that haven't happened before. And in those new conversations, new understanding can be built, and we can come to new solutions together, and you know, for the purpose of serving the greater good of land, animals, and people.